Tonight, a federal judge is calling an officer shortage the #1 challenge facing the Baltimore Police Department. It came as police brass provided a progress report on reforms under the consent decree. WJZ investigator Mike Kelgan is live at federal court to break down what the judge says has become a crisis in filling open positions. Mike.
Vic, the judge made clear that Baltimore will not be released from its obligations under the consent decree until the staffing shortages are addressed. He pointed out that there should be 48 investigators looking into police misconduct, but right now there are only 36. The commissioner says there's a strong incentive package for new recruits and the highest starting salary in the state.
You've heard us acknowledge that we're in a staffing crisis.
Commissioner Michael Harrison reacts to concerns from the judge overseeing police reform in Baltimore, who stresses the department can barely deploy enough officers to handle all calls for service, and says an insufficient number of officers is the single largest obstacle hindering successful reform. How many officers are you down, and what else can you do about the staffing crisis?
At last check, we were down, I believe, 489. We can make sure we have good recruitment incentives, good retention incentives, and we have those. What we have to do is also make sure we have good working conditions.
In the last quarter alone, police lost 51 officers while only hiring 23. The judge calls police shortages a national crisis. He also says Baltimore officers are routinely working 2 to 3 overtime shifts every week, and tired officers are going to make mistakes.
With nearly 500 fewer officers, we have to use overtime to flex the size of the department to make it look and feel as if we have 2,600. It's a financial burden, but it's also burdensome on the human body.
The commissioner also responded to police union concerns that Baltimore has too few officers to enforce the youth curfew, enforcement the mayor demanded after rowdy behavior and the shooting of 2 teenagers at the Inner Harbor.
It will always be about prioritizing our efforts, prioritizing how we deploy our resources, and how we do anything that we say we're going to do. This is not about snatching kids off the street. This is about making sure kids are safe, and parents have accountability.
Now, Judge Berdar did express confidence in police leadership and praised them for their overall reforms, but again, staffing was his big concern. Reporting live at federal court, Mike Kelgan, WJZ.